Hi everyone. Today we're going to discuss about uh, a project which is going to produce a WAR file, a web project basically. So far we saw a project which is producing a jar file. It's basically a simple Java project. Now we're going to generate or we're going to create a project which is going to produce a WAR file, web archive. So it's called web project. So for whatever we created is a Java project. Now it's a web project. It's also Java web project. It's called as a Java web project. The structure and everything remains same. Just get into the actual project creation process. Here is my Windows system where you've been seeing the screen like the same project. I have a Java folder, and within that I have a simple project which is a Java project. Now I am going to search for simple web project. So I went to Google and type Maven archetype generate. If you remember correctly, archetype generate is the command which we used for generating a sample Java project as well. Now I am going to generate a web application. MVN archetype generate. Now we can see the Maven web app archetype. So by default, Maven website itself, they're giving a kind of command to use it. So I'm going to copy this and put it in a notepad plus plus or maybe notepad. Yeah. So if you see here, we are not passing any kind of group ID, artifact ID, and version number. So as I'm not passing any details about group ID, artifact ID, and version number, it's going to prompt me what is going to be your group ID, what is going to be your artifact ID, and version number for our project, whatever is going to create. So these details, whatever we mentioned here, these details about archetype. So what is the template you want to use? The template group ID and template artifact ID and template version number. So whatever the project we are going to create, for that is going to prompt for the group ID, artifact ID, and version number. So let's execute this command and see what are the options we'll give. So on the same folder, I'm going to create one more project. I'm opening the command prompt, paste the command mvn archetype generate, archetype group ID, artifact ID, and version number. Hit enter. Yeah, it is. If you see here, define a value property for group ID. So it's asking for group ID for my project, whatever is going to come. So com.devops and artifact ID, sample web app. With this project name, with this name, I will get a new project, and with the same name, I will be having a output file as well generated. And version number, you can see by default 1.0 hyphen snapshot. If I want to leave it as 1.0 snapshot, I can leave it like that. If not, I can change it to 1.0. We'll discuss about more in down the line what is exactly the snapshot and what is where it is used. So now it's a packaging. So package. So this package is nothing but in the inside SRC. If I go and show you the folder structure, if I go to the folder, project folder, SRC main, right? Inside main Java, whatever we have, it's called project, sorry, package. So com DevOps is package basically. Whatever is there after Java, com.devops. By default, it's a group ID. If you want to change it, you can change it. So this is called a package. So within the Java project, people call it as a package. What is a package? In which package you are editing the file? Those are the details. So by default package is same as group ID. So you can leave it as it is or you can change it. So if you see group ID and by default it came as a group ID. If you want to change it, you can change it with a different package. So when you give a different package name, obviously you will have package name different. I mean, the folders will be with a different name. Example I'm giving. So let's say com.packages and then do you want to proceed? So these are the details it's asking me to confirm. Group ID, artifact ID, and package. Give yes. This package will not if really impact anything. It just inside the code, the structure of the code. It doesn't really impact anything. Yeah. Now we got the project. If I go to the folder location, you can see sample web apps. So within this project, if I go and see the pom.xml, you can see this is the project information which I just provided, group ID, artifact ID, and version number. There is a packaging. You can see the packaging is var. Before in the previous project there was no packaging. By default is a jar. Now it is a var. So web archive. So before it was generating a jar file by default. Yeah. And also like we do have a dependencies block where we can mention the dependencies. And also uh, we did mention some kind of compiler source version, target version. Uh, this is this has been generated as part of MVN archetype generate. So I'm just leaving it as it is for now. So we can change it if it is if you're having a higher version of Java, if you want to compile with only specific version, you can mention that. For now, it is anything with higher than 8. I think it should be fine. I don't think I will be having any problem. Currently, I have a version of 21 in my local system. Let's open it and confirm once again what version of Java I have. Java hyphen version. So 21. So let's go down and see these are the plugins have been defined. So yeah, that's it. It's not having much dependencies. Let's go and type the command. It will be our command. The command will be cd sample web apps. I need to switch to the web app folder and type mvn clean package. This should do the compilation, and basically the cleaning will clear the target folder, and it will perform the compilation and testing and packaging. See, the package has been created in the target folder. Now this time sample web apps dot var file. If I go back to target folder, you can see sample web apps dot var. Yeah, so this is how the project has been created. At any point of time, if you want to see what is been generated, how it is, what is the content inside, you can use maybe 7-zip or maybe jar command to extract. So you can see there is a folder. Within the folder, whatever the content you have, same content will be there inside var file as well. For example, I can't extract the jar. Maybe I can do it. I can open the command prompt jar hyphen tvf and sample dot var. Yeah, if you see jar hyphen tvf, jar is the command which will come as part of your Java installation. Hyphen tvf, T for uh, seeing what is there inside var file. Var is nothing but a compressed version. It's like another zip file. So Java archive basically. So jar hyphen tvf, T for listing down what are the content, what is the content you have inside. So V for verbose and F for file. So you have to give the file name, and you can see metadata. Within the metadata we have three. Uh, Within metadata you have one file, and within webinf you have. Let's see. Let's compare what we have here. We have metainf. Metainf is not there. I mean, it, the content is inside metainf. It's empty. When it is created, it's added that file whatever we are looking for. So meta manifest.mf file will be created when the file is converted as a var file. So inside webinf, if I go, you can see classes web.xml. You can see classes web.xml inside inside webinf. You can see classes folder and web.xml it and in index.jsp. If I go inside, if I go one step out, there is index.jsp. So basically the content whatever is here, it is there accepting some of the metadata. If you want to see more details within the var, you can open with 7-zip or extract it basically. You can extract it as well. just by doing, let me take a, let me create a new folder and extract it there rather than extracting in the same location. Inside the test, copied it there. Now, if I go to test folder, tra- Java jar-xvf sample, you can see the folder must have been extracted. So whatever the file we have, the compressed file, it has been extracted and it is generated in the current working directory. You can see meta inf. This is the meta inf which is created. Yeah, it's pom.xml, pom.properties. So this is the metadata, whatever is there in meta inf, and then webinf. Inside webinf classes web.xml, and there is no any libraries as such. But yeah, this is how the var file look like. For example, if I'm going to add a new dependency, if I go to sample web app in pom.xml, let's add a new dependency, or maybe remove the scope from testing. I'm removing the scope. Okay, it was having a testing scope. Let's pick another jar, Maven Central Calculator. I'm just picking one of the jar where we have any calculated dependency. Just picking one and use this dependency. It is having some vulnerabilities, but yeah, I'm just picking just for showing you. Inside dependency block, save it. If you see here, scope I didn't define. By default, it will be available for every time. I mean, say uh, every stage of our command. So if I do mvn clean package, this dependency, whatever I defined, it should be part of our package now. It's a runtime dependency. So what it's telling, could not resolve the dependency, uh, could not resolve dependency for the project. Okay, could not find the artifact in central repository. It's not able to find the artifact, whatever I defined. Why it is not? Okay, let's pick the other one. Maybe log4j. Log4j core. I'm going with the 2.24.3. Copy this and paste it as a dependency. Save and do mvn clean package. Let's close this command prompt. So mvn clean package should be able to download the dependency now. Log4j core, whatever the dependency is required, it's downloaded and it's going to create the package. So you can see the package has been created. Now if I go to the src, sorry, test target folder, see the var, and then this var I can't extract it as I don't have a 7-zip. Let's install 7-zip. Yeah, it'll be more convenient using through UI. So I'm just installing the 7-zip. So it has been installed. If I right click on the file, okay, open with, or maybe just type 7-zip on the start button. File Explorer, 7-zip file explorer, then go to this location, wherever we have a target folder, paste it. Within the target folder, I have a var file. So within this var file, you can see metadata, whatever has been created, and then webinf. Inside webinf, we got a lib folder now. This lib is basically a runtime dependency. When we are giving this var file to someone, so this application will be using this lib folder for any dependencies. Whatever the dependencies this application required during a runtime, those dependencies must be available in the lib folder inside webinf. That's what it is. So if somebody is adding any dependency, then obviously that should be there in the webinf. So there are some cases in real time, people add a dependency, but if they had any scope or something, the file will not be available within the var file. So you can open with 7-zip and confirm whether this var file does it included within the lib or not. It should be within the lib. Okay, there are some cases which I mentioned, right? So developer thinks that this dependency has been added and it is available for the application, but it won't until unless you confirm by opening this file and see whether this var file is having the actual dependency or not. It's really difficult. We can't really confirm. And obviously, application startup time, if you enable more verbose, you can see what are the dependencies are getting loaded. Yeah, this is the way to identify what are the dependencies which require during a runtime. Okay, and yeah, let's see one more scenario. Example, we have another project, right? We have a sample application. That sample application, whatever the sample application we have, if I want to include that sample application into my web project, so how to do, how should I kind of, deal with that scenario? So I have a simple project. This project is generating a jar file, right? This jar file, whatever is generating, I want to include in the second project, which is a var project. So let's go and use it, ambient clean package. If I do package, I'm going to get the jar file out of it. This jar can be included in the second project as a dependency. So how to do that? Let's see. I'm just generating a jar file for the first project, simple project. In the target, I should see the jar coming up. See, simple project 1.0.1 dot jar file. This is available. So now this file I should use for second project. So in the previous video, I mentioned Maven will be using local repository for scanning the dependencies, .m2 folder, right? So now, if I compile the web apps folder, or when I compile this web apps folder, obviously this will be looking for .m2 for its dependencies. If it's not available, then it will go to internet. So now, as if I want to use the first project as a dependency, what is the practice people follow is they take the group ID and artifact ID and version number, whatever they have, copy this and go to web project. I'm in the web project, add it as a dependency, add it as a dependency. I added dependency. Now Maven will look for .m2. If it's not available, it will go to internet. But this is internal dependency, internal jar, which I generated in my local system, right? So that time, what I need to do is I need to publish into my local repository. I need to publish this particular jar file into my local M2 repository so that my web project can pick for during the compilation time or during the packaging time, or yeah, during a compilation time it will pick and it will do all the processing for us. Now let's go for sample web project. Yeah, here if I do mvn clean package now, it will look for the dependency what I mentioned and it will say I can't find this dependency anywhere. If you see here, it's looking for com DevOps sample project 1.0.1, but it's not available either in the .m2 folder and it's not available in the Maven Central. So what should we do now? So now we go to project folder, sample project, and say open the command prompt Sorry, let's open the command prompt once again and type mvn mvn install, or maybe mvn clean package install. You can type mvn clean package install. That means you are creating a package and installing. This install is nothing but it is going to copy the file into your local .m2 folder. So once this file is getting copied, obviously the second project is going to look for .m2 folder, and it will detect, okay, this file is already available in the M2, so it can use it. Yeah, I added few other dependencies, few other plugins, so that's where you see the different output. Yeah, it should be quick. Yeah, it is running the dependency check as well. You can see there is an update for NVD database, 773 records. It is updated 773 records. So it is taking time to perform the scan. Yeah. Now we got a report and the file has been generated. If you see here, installing, you can see installing the package, the output, whatever we produced, this is copied to c colon users vagrant.m2. So this file has been copied into .m2 folder. Now as it is being copied into .m2 folder, now sample web project should be able to, my web project should be able to pick the jar file, whatever is being pushed by the project one. Yeah, you see now it picked. Now we picked the jar from my local.m2 folder. Now we got the var file. Now let's verify whether the var file got the dependency or not. Open with 7-zip once again. Okay, I don't want to compress. No, I don't want to compress with 7-zip. I want to open, right? 7-zip. Okay, here is the var file, webinf lib. If you see sample project 1.0.1 .jar file is available, and it's inside the web project. So this output, so what it means is the web project, whatever we created, this project requires a runtime. It's the dependent on the project A, I mean project first project, and it is used during a runtime when the main application is running, when the web application is running. We have this sample project 1.0.1 is available. Yeah, which we can the application will be using this jar as well. If I open this, if I keep double click on this file, you can see the actual content what we have. Okay, so this is how we basically create a web project and include another project as part of a dependency. Hope you like the video. If you do like it, please do share and subscribe. Thank you.